All right, everybody, welcome back to Circles. We're going to be learning something called an arc measure of a circle. Now, before we get into arcs, let's talk about things we know about angles. You know, if I draw you an angle, you can measure the degrees of opening that angle consists of. Well, if I take that angle and I move it into the center of a circle, look at the picture here, and the vertex, the point, is at the center, and the two sides of the angle go out to touch the actual circle itself as radiuses. That is called a central angle. CAB. CAB is a central angle because it's in the center of a circle. And it has the same degree measure as we've seen in angles we've talked about for months. Now, at the same time, on the circle itself, there is what's called an arc angle. So out here on the actual part of the circle that's bounded by the two radiuses, A and B, that's an arc. So you can have what's a minor arc. Minor means little, right? A minor arc will be somewhere between 0 and 180 degrees. A major arc is one that's bigger than 180 degrees. So knowing the differences is helpful. But these angles out here are called arc measures. Okay, and they said they had degrees just like the angles that we're used to, the angles. All right. Half of a circle, if I have a circle with a diameter, this is a semicircle. Okay. All right, so now when you name an arc angle, you have to use the letters of points on the circle. So let's look at some of these examples here they give us right here from this initial picture. Arc AB, here they have written for you, AB with that little curve above it, little frowny face. That's a minor arc because obviously less than 180 degrees. But if I want to do a major angle, one that's more than 180, I have to use three letters. So in this picture here, if I want to go from B to A to D, bad, the bad arc angle, and that's obviously more, if you're looking at it, it's more than 180 degrees, you need three letters. So B, A, D, and with the little frowny face above it. Less than 180, two letters. More than 180 degrees, three letters. Okay. And they went on this picture, they went ADB. So they went the other direction. So just so you see it, they went from A to D to B. ADB. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, I'm wrong. They went A to D to B, all the way back around, almost full circle. But those, both what I gave, BAD and ADB, are both more than 180 and are major arcs. All right, so now when we measure them, here's what's kind of cool. And this is actually one of those things that is easy. I don't use that word often. But the arc angle on a circle is the exact same value as the central angle. So if this is 50 degrees in here, then the arc angle out here is 50 degrees. Pretty straightforward. Now I can't like add this 50 to this 50. They're different things. This first one in the central angle is still a different kind of angle than the arc angle. You can't use them together. But when they're in the same circle, they can relate because that 50 is the same 50 that's out there. They're the same value. Okay. And then they're saying here also, while we got this picture up, that major arc angle ADB. So ADB going all the way around is 310 degrees. And how'd you get that? Well, a full circle is 360. You subtract the 50 of the minor angle AB, you get 310. Okay, so again, and the central angle inside of ACB, that central angle in there would also be 310 degrees. So that's one of the things in math or geometry that's actually pretty easy. All right, let's look at some examples for you. It says find the measure of each arc of circle P, where RT is the diameter. So since this is a diameter right here, look where I'm drawing here, folks. That's the diameter. Okay. Well, then that means it's going halfway through the circle. So this from here to here, 180 degrees, which also kind of makes sense because look, you got a straight line. Remember, straight lines are 180. And this angle, let me get rid of some of the stuff here so it's not too messy. This central angle here is 110, central angle. So the arc angle will be also 110 degrees. All right, so I got this 180 here. I'm using up 110 of it here. How much is left in this side? And you can do the math at 70 as a central angle and 70 as an arc angle as well. Now notice, I was working on the picture first. I ignored all this. Don't be looking at what they're asking for at first. Because sometimes you try to find the hardest thing first. So what I suggest you do is you look at the picture and find things that you can find easily and induce by finding certain values and subtract 180 or whatever, and then go to the questions. Now look what they're asking for you. They're asking for arc angles each time. See the little arc above each of those? They have a minor, a major, and another major. So RS, arc angle. Again, let me get rid of the mess I got over here. Actually, I'll leave this. This is 110. Let me clean this up a little bit so we can see what's happening here a little bit. That's pretty good. So I'll leave the numbers behind for us. So they want RS. And that's between here and here. The arc angle from here to here. Well, I have it written there for you. 110, right? So that's 110. Next one is RTS. So let me clear out over here so we can find out what we're doing here. RTS. So I'm going from R to T to S. Well, remember, whoops, I got 180 here, right? 70, that's 250 degrees. Okay. Next one, they want RST. So they want R to S to T. Well, 110 plus 70 is 180. Okay. Okay, now adjacent arcs. We talked about adjacent angles long time ago. Back, gosh, way before COVID. Adjacent angles are two angles that share a vertex and a side. So these two angles I've just drawn for you are adjacent. Again, they share this vertex and they share this side. They're right side of each other. And you can do the same with arcs. You can have two arcs side by side, and those are adjacent. So you can have, let me show you. You can have a circle. I'll put some dots on here for you. So you may have an arc here and an arc there, and those two are adjacent. Likewise, the angles, the central angles that are inside there, those central angles are also adjacent. Okay, and you can add them up equally as well as you did the angles. So that's usually pretty straightforward. So we'll measure up some arc angles on the next example too. Now they're giving you, these are all central angles. Look at the picture. This is a pi diagram. Full circle is 360 degrees. So if you add up all these numbers, you get 360. Not doing that here. That's not what's important. But please know, because those are the central angles, your arc angles are also going to be the same. 83, right? Do I have to write them? I don't have to, but I will, because later on you'll want to write things out here because it'll help you. So I wrote all, 5 of them out there for ourselves. Now they want you to answer these questions. Again, look at the letters here for the 4 problems. There's one with 2 letters and the other ones have 3. So the first one, AC, is a minor, so it's going to be less than 180. So looking at AC, they're going from, I'll highlight it for you, from here to there. So you can add those 2 angles of 29 and 108, and that'll get you, what, 137? Okay, so 137, just add up the 2 numbers. ACD is letter B. ACD, let me highlight that for you. A to C to D. Now look, don't go the other way. Some people might go, well, here's A to C, and then back over to D. You're going to go in circles, right? So make sure you take the shortest path always. A to C to D. And let's see, so we said 137, you add the 83 to that, you get 220. 220 for ACD, 220. Next one's ADC. Again, I'll highlight it for you. Again, I don't want to go this way because D is the second letter. So I go A to D to C. Now I can add up those 3 numbers, or I know that the 108 and the 29 I did earlier, it was 137. I can subtract that from 360. Again, I did this one earlier. So I can add, I know it's 137. So I subtract 360, the total circle, minus 137. It's your choice. You can add up to 3 if you want. This is 3, that's 2, and that's 2. So it's 223. Okay, and then the last one will have EBD. So let's highlight that for you. Here's E, you go E to B all the way around to D.
I can add up 4 numbers, but I'm lazy. So I will just subtract the 61 from 360. I'll get 299, and that'll be the answer for that. All right, one more example for you here on the guided practice. To give you a circle, they have three central angles. Central, central, central. See them on the picture? Let's zoom in on that first. Those 3 angles are centrals. I want to try to find all the angles on the picture first, then I'll go answer all these questions they got, okay? So I'm looking at this, and I know the 120 comes out here as an arc angle, the 60 comes out as an arc angle, the 80 comes out as an arc angle. Question is, what about SR? What do I do about the angle in here? Well, you do know that you do have a straight line. Hopefully, I'm going to get rid of some things on here. You do see, hopefully, the straight line of 180 here, right? Okay, because the 120 and the 60 is 180. So below that, where the 80 is, I know that since this is 80, this has got to be 100 degrees. Central angle, therefore 100 degrees out here on my arc angle. Now right now I have all the values I need. So clean this up just a tad so it's not so messy. There's all my central and all my arc angles are done. Let's go answer the questions. And again, looking at the questions they're giving you, the 2-letter ones are going to be 180 or less. TQ is looking right at the picture. 120, right? T to Q, arc angle. So that's 120. Right, next one. Number 2, QRT, 3 letters. Let's highlight it. QR all the way over to T. Now again, I can add up the 3 numbers or just subtract the 120 from the total of 360 for the full circle. I'm going to subtract this one from 360. Much easier and quicker to do. So that would be 360, right? Minus 120, that gets me 240. That's for QRT. Next one, let's see, they say TQR. Gonna look at the picture first. I have to go this way, T to Q to R, shortest path to those 3 letters. And right away I can see it's 180, right? So I'm adding up the 2 values, either the 120 and the 60 to get to the 180. Next one, we have QS. That's going to be down here at the bottom, QS. 60 and 100, right? 160. Again, degrees for all these. I'm always lazy with the degrees. All right, next one's TS. Let's get rid of this. And TS is right over here, piece of cake, nothing to add or subtract. This is plain old 80. This down here is 80 degrees. And the last one they have for us is RST. So I'm going from R to S to T, and it's 100 plus 80, so that's also going to be plain old 180 degrees. All right, folks, good luck.